They say suffering can do two things to a person. It can make you kind because you know what pain feels like, or it can make you wicked because you decide nobody else deserves better than what you got. This is a story of what happened when those two types of people lived under the same roof. Welcome to Talking African Tales, home of beautiful African stories. Please do well to subscribe if you haven't. God bless you. In the village of Grinnell, there was a man called Mr. Thomas Harper. He was a good man, hard-working, respected by everyone. His first wife, Grace, died when their daughter Lily was just 10 years old. The sickness took her quickly, and Mr. Harper was left alone with a little girl to take care of. 2 years passed like that, Mr. Harper doing his best, but a man can only do so much. He worked at the sawmill during the day and came home tired. Little Lily learned to wash her own uniform even though her small hands could barely wring out the water. The village women felt sorry for them. That man needs a wife, they would say. That child needs a mother. Now, in the same village, there was a woman called Margaret Hart, a single mother of 2 twin girls. Her story was a painful one. She had married young, maybe too young, to a man who was old enough to be her father. She gave him twin daughters, Veronica and Sharon. But when the twins were only 3 years old, the man disappeared with no words. Margaret waited for years, but no hope and no news or trace of him. Then she got tired and she stopped waiting and started surviving. She did everything. She washed clothes for people. She sold vegetables in the market. She helped people weed their farms. Hands. And every night, she cooked the small food she could afford for her daughters, watching them eat while her own stomach growled. The twins, Veronica and Sharon, grew up watching their mother beg. They watched her bow her head when other women in the market insulted her. A woman with no husband, they would whisper loud enough for her to hear. What kind of example is she setting for those girls? The twins learned something from all this suffering. They learned to be hard, to never show weakness, to take what you can before someone takes from you, to never, ever end up like their mother, begging and bowing. When the twins were 14 years old, Mr. Harper noticed Margaret in the market one day. She was carrying a heavy load of yams, struggling, about to fall. He rushed to help her. She was so shocked that a respected man like him would even look at her that she started crying right there in the market. "Why are you crying?" he asked gently. "Because you treated me like a human being," she said. That was how it started, and after 6 months they got married. The twins were excited to finally having a real home. A father. No more shame. When they moved into Mr. Harper's house, 12-year-old Lily was quiet and watchful. She missed her mother terribly, but she was a polite child. She greeted her new stepmother respectfully. She tried to be friendly with the twins who were now her older sisters. For 6 years, things were okay. Not perfect, but okay. Mr. Harper treated all 3 girls fairly. He paid school fee for everyone. He bought clothes for everyone. He made sure everyone ate. Yes, he was softer with Lily because she was his blood, his only connection to Grace, but he tried his best to be fair. Margaret was grateful. So grateful that she treated Lily decently. She cooked for her. She washed her clothes. She didn't love her like her own daughters, but she wasn't wicked to her either. The twins tolerated Lily. They didn't hate her, but they didn't love her. They always felt like she had something extra, something they didn't. She had her father's real love. She had the family name. This house would be hers by blood one day. They were just additions, but nobody was wicked. Nobody was cruel. They lived like a normal blended family, with small tension but nothing terrible. Then Mr. Harper died. Lily was 18 years old. The twins were 20. Mr. Harper just collapsed one evening while coming back from work. Heart failure, the doctor said. Too much stress. Too much worry. Gone, just like that. They buried him next to his first wife, Grace. Lily cried until she had no tears left. She had now lost both parents. The twins cried too. They had finally gotten a father, and now he was gone. But Margaret's mind was somewhere else. She stood in front of the compound, looking at the house, the small piece of land, and fear gripped her heart. Cold, choking fear. What if they take it away? She thought. What if the village elders say this house belongs to Lily because she's a blood daughter? What if I end up back where I started, begging, struggling, with nothing? She remembered those years of suffering, those years of shame, those years of hunger, and something hard formed in her heart. Never again, she whispered to herself. Never again. The very next morning, everything changed. Margaret woke up before everyone else. She went to Lily's room, the room that used to be the master bedroom where Mr. Harper slept. "Get up," she said. Not kindly, not like before. Lily rubbed her eyes, still swollen from crying. "Good morning, Ma." "Don't call me Ma. From today, you will sleep in the kitchen. That room is too big for one person. My daughters will use it." Lily sat up, confused. "But this was my father's room. This was—" "Your father is dead," Margaret said coldly. "I am the woman of this house now, and you will do as I say." Lily's hand started shaking. "Please, I don't understand. What did I do wrong?" "You did nothing wrong. You're just not my daughter. Now get up and move your things to the kitchen before my daughters wake up." That morning, 18-year-old Lily carried her small bag of clothes to the kitchen and spread a mat on the floor next to the firewood. She didn't understand what was happening. Her father had just died. The burial was yesterday. And now this? When Veronica and Sharon woke up and saw Lily's room empty and their mother moving their things inside, they looked at each other. "Mama, what's happening?" Veronica asked. Margaret closed the door and faced her daughters. Her voice was hard, determined. "Listen to me carefully. I suffered for you girls. I begged. I went hungry. I was insulted and humiliated. And when your stepfather married me, I thought we were finally safe. But now he's gone. And if we're not careful, everything will go to Lily because she's his blood daughter." "But Mama, Papa would have wanted us to share," Sharon started. "Share?" Margaret's voice rose. "I shared my suffering with nobody. I protected you alone. Now I will protect you again. This house is mine. I am the widow, and Lily will learn to take care of herself just like I did. She's had enough advantages. Her father took care of her for 18 years. You girls only got 6 years. Where's the fairness in that?" The twins were quiet. Deep down, they had always felt like outsiders in this house. And their mother's words made sense to the part of them that was still angry, still hurt from those years of struggle. "So what do we do?" Veronica asked. "We put her in her place," Margaret said simply. "From today, she's not your sister. She's a help." And just like that, Lily became a servant in her own father's house. She woke up at 5 a.m. every morning to fetch water. She swept the entire compound while the twins slept. She cooked breakfast and served the twins in bed. She washed their clothes by hand while they went to school. Margaret had stopped paying Lily's school fees, saying there was no money, but somehow there was money for the twins. She ate whatever was left after everyone finished. Sometimes it was just a crust of bread. Sometimes it was just plain rice with no soup. She slept on a mat in the kitchen, next to the firewood and the smoky walls. And whenever she tried to keep anything for herself, a small piece of her mother's jewelry, a nice dress her father bought her, the twins would take it. "This is too nice for a house help," Veronica would say, snatching it from her hands. "You're lucky we even let you stay here," Sharon would add. "If it was up to me, you'd be on the street." When Lily cried, they laughed. "Go and call your dead father," Veronica would mock. "Let him come and save you." "Go and cry to your dead mother," Sharon would add. "Maybe she'll hear you from a grave." The worst part? The village knew. People saw Lily fetching water at dawn in torn clothes. They saw her carrying heavy loads while the twins walked freely. They whispered among themselves, but nobody intervened. It wasn't their business. 3 years passed like this. Lily was now 21 years old. She had grown into a young woman, but her eyes carried a sadness that made her look older. Her hands were rough from work. Her back ached constantly, but something inside her refused to break. Every night, in the kitchen after everyone slept, she would bring out the one thing she had managed to hide from the twins, her mother's old Bible. It was worn and old, with pages falling out, but it was hers. One night, she was flipping through it when a small folded paper fell out. Her hands trembled as she opened it. It was a mother's handwriting. "My darling Lily, if you are reading this, then I am gone. I'm writing this while you sleep beside me, just in case the sickness takes me. I need you to know something. My daughter, life will not always be easy. People will not always be kind. You will face darkness. But no matter what happens, remember this. Kindness is a language of heaven. It is how angels speak. It is how God recognizes his children. Do not let the world make you hard. Do not let suffering make you cruel. Let it make you kind instead, because you know what pain feels like. Your reward will come, my daughter. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will come. The universe remembers kindness. God remembers kindness. Let your light shine, even in the darkest night. I love you forever. Mama. Lily pressed the letter to her chest and cried silently. She cried for her mother. She cried for her father. She cried for her lost childhood. She cried for the family that was stolen from her. But when she finished crying, she wiped her face and whispered, "Okay, Mama, I will try. I will try to stay kind even when they are wicked. I will try." She didn't know that soon, very soon, her real test was coming. One morning, Margaret called all three girls to the main room. She was holding a letter. "There's a big town called Riverside, 3 days' walk from here," she announced. "I've been hearing that young women go there and find good work. Some come back after 1 year with bags of money. You girls are old enough now. It's time you went out and made something of yourselves." The twins looked at each other excitedly. Freedom, money, a chance to finally live. Lily's heart jumped a little. Maybe this was her escape. Maybe in Riverside she could start a new life. But then she saw the look in Margaret's eyes and she understood. Margaret wanted the twins to succeed and come back rich. She was sending Lily hoping she would fail, disappear, maybe never return. "You all leave tomorrow," Margaret said. Then she turned to her daughters. "Come, let me help you pack." Margaret gave Veronica and Sharon new bags, new clothes, good shoes, food for a week, and even a little money for lodging. "My daughters, make me proud," she said, hugging them tightly. "This is your time to shine." Then she turned to Lily and threw an old torn sack at her feet. "Take that." "What about food, Ma?" Lily asked quietly. "There is half bread in the kitchen. Take it and go." "And money for lodging." Margaret's eyes were cold. "You have 2 legs. Sleep under a tree." The twins giggled. That night, while packing, Lily cried one more time. She had 1 torn dress, 1 worn-out blouse, her mother's Bible, and half a loaf of bread. That was it. That was everything she owned in the world. But she remembered her mother's letter. "Let your light shine." The next morning, they set off. The twins walked ahead, laughing and planning. "When I get my first salary, I'm buying the finest dress in Riverside," Veronica declared. "And I'm going to find a rich man to marry," Sharon added. "Someone who will build me a house bigger than that small compound we're leaving behind." Lily walked behind them quietly, carrying her small sack, her feet already aching in her worn shoes. They walked all day, through farms, through small villages, into the thick forest. By evening, they reached a place where the road split into 2. One road curved to the right. It looked wider, clearer, easier to walk on. Many footprints marked the red dust. The other road curved to the left. It was narrower, darker, with tall trees blocking the sun. It looked harder. "We should take the right," Veronica said immediately. "It looks better." "Agreed," Sharon said. "Let's go." Lily stood at the fork, staring at both paths. Something strange was happening. The birds had gone completely silent. The wind had stopped. The air felt thick, heavy, like the whole forest was holding its breath. And then she heard it, a whisper, soft, gentle, familiar. "The narrow path, my love, always the narrow path." It sounded like her mother. Lily's eyes filled with tears. "Mama." The whisper came again, like wind through leaves. "The narrow path." "Lily, are you coming or not?" Veronica shouted from the right path. Lily looked at them, then looked at the left path, the narrow, darker one. "I'm going left," she said quietly. "What? Why?" "That path looks terrible," Sharon said. I feel like I should go left." The twins laughed. You know what? Go your own way. We're not your mother. We'll see you in Riverside. And they walked off, laughing and chatting, swallowed by the bright, wide path. Lily stood alone at the crossroads for a moment. Then she took a deep breath and stepped onto the narrow path. The moment her foot touched the ground, the birds started singing again. The wind blew gently. And somehow, even though the path was darker, Lily felt safe. She didn't know it yet, but that single choice, that one moment of listening to the whisper, had just changed her entire destiny. Both paths led to the same place. By the next evening, Lily and the twins all arrived at Riverside Town. It was bigger than Grinnell, busier, louder. The market was packed with people selling everything: yams, cloves, pots, live chickens. Right at the entrance to the market, under a massive oak tree, sat an old man. He looked ancient. His clothes were faded and torn. His body was so thin you could see his bones. His hands trembled as he held out a small wooden bowl. His eyes were sunken, but somehow they seemed alert, watching, seeing everything. Please, the old man whispered. A piece of bread. Anything. I am so hungry. People walked past him like he wasn't there. Some stepped around him. Some actually stepped over his legs. Nobody looked at him. Nobody stopped. Then Lily arrived. She was exhausted from walking. Her feet were blistered. Her throat was dry. She had been saving her half-loaf of bread, eating only tiny bits to make it last. It was all she had left in the world. But when she saw the old man, she stopped immediately. He looked up at her. Their eyes met. Please, my daughter, he whispered. Just a piece of bread. Lily didn't hesitate. She opened her sack, pulled out the bread. It was just a small piece now, and gave him the whole thing. Not half. All of it. Hey, sir, she said gently, kneeling down to his level. Eat. The old man stared at the bread, then at her. This is your last food. You need it more than I do. But you will be hungry tonight. Lily smiled sadly. I've been hungry before. I'll survive. Please, eat. The old man's hands shook as he took the bread. He ate slowly, tears forming in the corners of his eyes. When he finished, he looked at her with those strange, deep eyes and asked, What is your name, child? Lily, sir. And you are not from this town? No, sir. I came to look for work. Do you have somewhere to sleep tonight? Lily's smile faded. No, sir. I'll find somewhere. The old man was quiet for a moment. Then he said something that surprised her. Lily, come with me. You will work for me. I will give you a place to sleep tonight. But, sir, I don't know you. And I didn't know you, he said. But you gave me your last food without thinking twice. You knelt down to my level. You treated me like a human being. Come, you are safe with me. Something about his voice made Lily trust him. She helped him stand up, and they walked together through the market to a small compound at the edge of town. There was a simple house there, old but clean. You will sleep here, the old man said, pointing to a small room. Tomorrow, your work begins, but tonight, rest. Thank you, sir. What is your name? The old man smiled. You can call me Samuel. Lily ate the small bowl of soup he offered her, lay down on the clean mat, and for the first time in 3 years, she slept without fear. Meanwhile, 2 hours later, the twins arrived at the same market. They were loud, laughing, excited, and there, still under the oak tree, sat Samuel. He had returned to his spot, waiting. Please, he said when they approached, help an old man up. I want to stand. Veronica looked at him with disgust. Old man, get up by yourself. We're not your housemaids. Please, just a hand, Samuel said, reaching out. Sharon kicked dust toward him. You're blocking the entrance. Move before we call the market guards. Samuel looked up at them. His eyes, for just a second, seemed to flash with something not of this world. Not anger, something deeper. Sadness mixed with finality. So it shall be, he whispered. The twins didn't hear him. They were already walking into the market, laughing about the dirty old beggar. They found work that same evening with a wealthy merchant who needed housemaids. The merchant seemed kind enough, though something about him felt familiar. If you're enjoying this beautiful story, please subscribe, like, drop your comment and turn on your notification for Part 2. A lot is about to unfold and you can't afford to miss it. Thank you for watching.